Today we'll study the structure of cell, the different parts of the cell and their functions, and the differences between plant cell, animal cell. We'll study a little bit about bacteria and yeast. This is the picture of the animal cell, this is the picture of the plant cell. So nucleus, it contains genetic material which controls the activities of the cell. You can call it the brain of the cell. It contains the blueprint to your existence. Whether you have blue eyes, black genetic material is the characteristics that define your body, which are inherited from your parents. The characteristics that you take from your father, your mother, whether you're short, whether you're fat, whether you're tall, whether you're not so tall, whether you're medium, whether you have very good memory, whether you have a bad memory, all these things. Some of these things also can be influenced by the environment, but the things that you take from your parents, the characteristics that you inherit from your parents, these things are called genetic material. The nucleus contains the genetic material, all the genetic material. It controls all the activities of the cell. Also, it's where you can call it the brain of the cell. Also, both animal cells and plant cells have them. Cytoplasm again. Most chemical processes take place there. So, and it's where most chemical processes take place there. It's also where you can find enzymes, and of course, if chemical reactions take place there, of course you'll find enzymes. Enzymes are biological catalysts. They help increase the chemical reaction. So if the chemical reaction will take 30 minutes with an enzyme or a catalyst, an enzyme is used inside the body. So in chemistry, we'll use the word catalyst, and in biology, we'll use enzyme. Enzyme is a biological catalyst. Catalysts speed up chemical reactions, and if it's supposed to be 30 minutes, they make it 15 or 20 minutes. This is an example off the top of my head. Google enzymes, and you'll probably find more examples. You can find them in both plant cells and animal cell. As you can see, there's the cytoplasm. That's the whole medium. There is the nucleus. Again, there is the cytoplasm, the green part. The pink part is the cytoplasm here. And the nucleus will be the big green thing. And the nucleus in the animal cell will be the reddish thing. Cell membrane. It controls the movement of substances into and out of the cell. If you can call it, it's kind of like a gate. It's like the houses have gates, and you can remember it's a huge gate around the cell. So it controls the movement of substances in and out. So if anything wants to go in and out, it has to go through the cell membrane. So it controls what gets in and what gets out. Both cell membrane and both plants and animals have the cell membrane. Cell membrane controls the movement of substances going in and out of the cell. So it's kind of similar to the gate. Say automatic gate would control all humans, all things that go in and out of the house. You can remember it as a huge gate. That'll be helpful. You can't use these things. You can just, in the exam, be very upset if you just call the nucleus the brain and call the cell membrane a huge gate. They're just little things to help you remember. Mitochondria. Mitochondria is where most energy is released by respiration. So this is where ATP is produced, where all the energy is produced. You can call it the energy factory of your body. It's the energy factory of your body. That will be a good way to remember it. But please do not use these descriptions. This is the correct definitions. Memorize these. And anything I'm saying, I'm just trying to help you understand the words on this slide. So it's kind of like the energy factory in your cell. So both plants and animal cells have them. Ribosomes, they produce proteins, and both of them have. Cell wall, it strengthens the cell. Only plants have them. The cell wall is this rigid thing here, the yellow thing. And both plants and animals have them. Chloroplasts, this is specifically for plants, is a thing that makes the leaf green. It absorbs sunlight for photosynthesis. So chlorophyll absorbs sunlight. This is a thing that makes the leaf green, and it contains, chloroplast contains chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is the thing that makes plants green, that makes the leaf green. If you look at a leaf, it's very green because it contains chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is a substance that's needed to absorb light energy during photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is the process of how the plants make food. You have photo, which is light, and synthesis, which is light making. So basically, chloroplast contains chlorophyll, which absorbs sunlight and makes food for the plant during photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is the process of the plant making food by itself. Permanent vacuole, it's filled with cell sap to help keep the cell turgid. It's a hole filled with a solution that helps keeps the cell in place. And chloroplasts can be found in plants only. Cell wall can be found in plants only. There's the cell wall. Chloroplasts are these green little things. Vacuole is the empty hole that you can see is filled with some sort of solution to help keep the cell in place, to provide structure. It keeps it in place. And you can find it only in plants only, chloroplast plants only, cell wall plants only. Let's move on to yeast. Yeast is a single-celled organism. Yeast, they have a nucleus. Yeast has nucleus, cytoplasm, and a membrane surrounded by cell wall. Essentially, it has nucleus, cytoplasm. It only has nucleus, cytoplasm, and cell wall, and membrane. Cell membrane, cell wall, nucleus, cytoplasm. Bacteria, on the other hand, does not. Bacteria, on the other hand, it's also a single-celled organism, but it does not have a nucleus. It just has a bunch of DNA just lying around. You can just see some DNA there. And bacteria consists of cytoplasm, membrane, surrounded cell membrane, cell wall. The genes are not just in the nucleus, they're just laying around there in the middle. You have little plasmids here. The DNA is just in the middle. You have loops of plasmid, circles, plasmid DNA, loops of plasmid DNA, loops of plasmid. So essentially, you just have to remember this in the exam, that it is a single-celled organism. It has cytoplasm, membrane surrounded by cell wall, genes that are not in the nucleus, that are just in the middle. They're not just in the middle, but this, for the sake of the exam, that's all you need to know.